Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Ratangshu Bhattacharya. Our top focus for 5 p.m. The U.S. government, in a bid to kickstart the economy, has now opened its gates for wealthy Indians to invest and immigrate into the United States. The policy would help the Americans in creating employment and for getting investments to the United States. Now, under this scheme, you can now get a green card for you and your family and shift to the United States if you can invest $500,000 or a little over 3 crore rupees. You would have to invest the money and give jobs to 10 Americans over the next 2 years in this process.
In a bid to rejuvenate its economy, the United States government is now looking at wealthy investors, hoping to get investment. The Immigrant Investor Program, also known as EB-5, will benefit the U.S. in creating jobs and pulling in investments into the U.S. economy, which is trying hard to get back on its now looking at wealthy investors, hoping to get investment. The Immigrant Investor Program, also known as EB-5, will benefit the U.S. in creating jobs and pulling in investments into the U.S. economy, which is trying hard to get back on its feet.
All right, joining me live right now is my colleague Supriya Bhardwaj, and also joining me in the studios is our esteemed guest, Mr. Pankaj Joshi, the MD of NYSA. Mr. Joshi, coming to you first, your first reactions on this proposal, which a lot of people have criticized as something in which the United States is blatantly appealing to wealthy Indian businessmen and industrialists to invest to help the flagging U.S. economy.
Well, the program is not new. The program has been in place for over 2 decades. It is true that over the last 4 years, the program has been encouraged more by the United States as to bring capital into small and medium enterprises that will benefit the local economy. It is unfair to say that the money is getting siphoned away from from developing countries like India. It is more fair to say that in the world of globalization today, capital needs to move both ways. And as much as money needs to come into India in certain sectors or where large capital is required, the EB-5 program is designed to bring investments into smaller enterprises in the United States that benefit their local economies.
Indeed, Supriya, is this the discrimination, or at least the double standards of the Obama administration is apparent here. On one side, Barack Obama, during his poll promises both in 2012 and in 2008, had indicated on his aversion to the outsourcing menace, as he called it, to Bangalore and other Indian cities. But on the other hand, he has no objections to wealthy Indians investing as long as it boosts the U.S. economy.
Certainly, Ratangshu, and it's not just India, but even this entire model was tested first in China. And after seeing that it's a big success, there are 7,000 millionaires moved from China, and they moved their businesses from China to United States. That Washington D.C. thought that why not to tap India and its millionaires. And interestingly, it clearly shows the double standard of the United States, because on one hand, they're saying that all the outsourcing work will be cut down, will be curtailed. On the other hand, they are inviting people from across the globe to come and invest in their short enterprise and the medium-scale enterprise industry. So this is what goes on to show. In fact, there are studies after studies which show that in last fiscal years, more than 1.5 lakh jobs were created in United States, where the Indian houses, business houses, played a major role. On the other hand, when it comes to job creation in India, there are again surveys after surveys which point that the job creation in India is falling. Our manufacturing sector, our other core sectors are bleeding in a fashion. The job creation is really, it has hit down. It's not happening the way it was expected to happen. And all this seen, when taken in totality, the critics are saying that this move by United States is not good for any emerging economy. Back to you.
Indeed, Supriya. Mr. Joshi, my simple question is, can India afford this? Because Indian economy is not booming either. And if you have its wealthy investment going towards the West, that is not good news for the Indian economy.
Well, I think every economy in the globe today has its own set of challenges. Foreign investments and cross-border investments are active across the world. As much as India requires foreign direct investments and as much as India requires job creations here, there are a segment of society that is looking to migrate for various reasons. This program actually provides a very clean and transparent mechanism for those seeking to migrate to be able to gain the benefit of migration. As far as your comments earlier on Obama and the cut on outsourcing, etc., actually President Obama recently has been pushing for very large immigration reforms in the United States, which including EB-5 and making this into a permanent program. And as an economy in the United States,
right,
it's something that is their internal policy decision about what they want to encourage and discourage.
Right.
So I wouldn't like to say that this is in any way hurting the Indian economy. On the other hand, NRIs or PIOs are the largest source of foreign investment coming back into India, whether it's RBI bonds that they buy, whether it's the dollar deposits that they take in Indian bonds, etc. So NRI capital is actually very important for India, and it can only get created if there are NRIs out there.
All right, Mr. Pankaj Joshi and Supriya, thank you so much for joining us at 5 p.m. and giving us your views and perspectives.